In December, my child was raped.
Why are you afraid to go home?
I don't want to go to court no more.
I can understand where it'd be tough to face the people that did this to you.
I reported it to the police. Then I prayed.
I look at a young girl who's terrified. I see it in your eyes. Do you want to go back home with your mom?
My daughter, Catherine, is 17 years old. Her daughter, and her boyfriend, Nick, reside with me. They constantly fight. I'm so afraid they're going to lose the baby, wind up in jail, or even worse, kill each other.
Yeah, I have hit her. I pulled her hair, yes. Choked her once.
Why did you do that, Nick?
Oh, I haven't laid a hand on her in a while.
You just hit me with your skateboard the other day, Nick.
You whacked the mother of your child with a skateboard. What state do you live in?
Chicago.
You live in Chicago. Great. No, that's wonderful. Chicago police officer Mike McDermott. Come on up here, Mike.
We will be seeing each other probably tomorrow, bum. Can I take him now?
Maybe we'll have our first arrest on stage at the Steve Wilkos Show. Welcome to the show. My first guest is Laverne. Laverne, why are you here?
I'm here because my daughter left home 3 weeks ago. I reported it to the police, and I just don't feel like they're doing enough to help me. I found out that my daughter had been talking to someone on this show, and that she may want to come home. So I'm doing what mamas do. I came to find her and bring her home.
Tell us about the night your daughter ran away.
On the night in question, I picked my daughter early, and we came home. We had a good evening. Everybody was doing their chores. Everybody was doing what they were supposed to do. When I went in the room, it was time for everybody to go to bed because we had to go to school tomorrow. Sherry goes to school a long ways from home, so everybody had to go to bed. And something said, get up. So when I got up, the children were inside watching television, and I said, what are you doing up? And they said, Mama, we were just gonna watch the rest of this and we're gonna go to bed. I said, well, what's Sherry? And they said Sherry was out the back door. So I went outside around the house calling her because it was late at night and I'm calling her. So I picked up, I said, well, where's my phone? They said, Sherry had your phone. So I called my phone. When I called my phone, Sherry didn't answer the first 2 times I called, but the second time she called. I said, Sherry, I said, what you doing at this house? I said, let me tell you something. There's only one grown person in here, and that's me. When I say go to bed, you all go to bed. If you're gonna live with me, you're gonna do what I say, or you can't live here.
And why do you think she ran away?
Well, when my child got raped in December, I went through a whirlwind of changes, and so did she, because I've always raised the standard as far as how they should protect themselves and keep themselves as children. So apparently, now that this has happened, it's like I'm no longer that person anymore. So I'm trying to find myself. And I just want her to understand that a lot of women on this earth have gone through a lot of things, even myself.
I got imagined as a mother of a child, 15 years old, being raped, that would change you.
Yeah, it did. I walked up and down my room. I loaded the gun, I unloaded the gun. I loaded it, I unloaded it. Then I prayed. And then I understood that the only thing that was important is trying to get her past it, but she won't let me. Every time I make an appointment for her to go to a psychologist or anything, she's unaware of it. I know not to let her know of it, but she's gone back out, you know, hanging out with her friends and stuff. And then the biggest problem is you got adult people out there that will house your children.
I got to say, you seem like a pretty together woman. I love your attitude about your children, how you're going to be there for them, and if they run away, you're going to go out and get them. And I think there should be more parents like you with that attitude saying, because that's what I basically preach, is say, don't give up on your kids no matter what. Mm-hmm. You gotta stop them. You can't let them make the decisions to run away, to go out. And like you said, and this is an issue I don't think we've ever covered, is that there are people out there, adults, that will house a child. Mm-hmm. Who does that? You see a child, in your house, staying for days or weeks at a time, don't you ask, aren't your parents, where are they? How come you're not at home? How come you're not going to school? I mean, somebody's been housing her for 3 weeks.
Yes. 3 whole weeks. My child.
I want you to listen to your daughter reading part of the email she sent me.
Hi Steve, my name is Sherry and I am 16 years old. I have been missing from home for about 2 or 3 weeks. I know my mom is really worried about me, but I'm scared to go home. My mom is a very good woman. It's just certain things I do I can never go to her and explain. Why? Because I know one of her friends will judge me. I want my mama to know that I love her and she means everything to me. I miss her. I don't want to live this way. I want to go to school. I want to go home. Please help me get back home. I miss my mom and my family. Help me, please, Sherry.
Why do you think your daughter's afraid to come home?
Well, it comes back to the 15-year-old and the 16-year-old decision. Number one, I tell all my children, you got to stop deciding who's my friend. I know who my friends are. You don't. I can't control other people. I can't tell you what to think about me or you what to think about me. You got to form your own opinion, and I have to respect that. Your opinion is your own. But what I say to you is what you need to listen to. And the problem right there shows you're not listening, and you need to stay home until you can learn how to listen.
I look at a young girl who's terrified. I see it in your eyes. Do you want to go back home with your mom?
Yeah, I have hit her. I pulled her hair, yes. Choked her once.
Exactly why wouldn't you lock this piece of crap up? Maybe we'll have our first arrest on stage at the Steve Wilkos Show. The good thing is your daughter is here. I'm going to go backstage. I'm going to talk to her, and then I'm going to bring her out to you, okay? How you doing, Sherry? You agreed, you ran away, you agreed to come here. What made you reach out for me for help?
Because you seem like a nice person and I really wanted to go home.
You want to go home? Why are you afraid to go home?
I don't want to go to court no more and I just like hanging out with my friends, I guess.
You don't want to testify against the men that did this to you?
Whenever I have to testify, my mama never in the room with me.
The cop in me wants to say, keep testifying, put these animals behind bars. As a father, looking at you, a young girl, I could understand where it'd be tough to face the people that did this to you. But I think maybe if that's a concern of yours, I think maybe we can get it where your mother's there for you, right next to you, while you go through this difficult thing. All I know is just talking to your mom, she seems like a really strong woman, and I think you probably got that from her, and you need to be strong, and you need to be with your mom and put these animals behind bars. Are you ready to go out and see your mom?
Yes.
You want to talk to her?
Yes.
Do you miss her? Where have you been these past 3 weeks?
At my friend's house.
And no adult there said, hey, what are you doing here?
No, as long as I call somebody that's a relative, they really don't say anything.
I got a problem with that. Your mom, she's concerned. A parent is up. She probably had not a moment's peace knowing that you're gone, wondering what's happening to you. Let's go out and see your mom. Come on. And I'm very happy that you called me and you trust me to help you.
miss you. Let me tell you something. You don't want those people to do something to one day. You let them out, you don't know how they're going to retaliate. How about your friends you love? You don't want them to hurt them, do you? And you big enough. You done fought the battle already. You big enough, baby. You got me standing with you. Ain't nobody gonna touch you with me there. But you gotta see it through, Sherry. You hear me? We can't run away from stuff. I guarantee, if you get over this hurdle right here, ain't nothing gonna stop you. I love you so much. Go do this to me. You know what I mean? I don't know where you been. I don't know if y'all right. I'm glad you talked to somebody. I'm not mad about that. You got me on national TV. And if I have to get on national TV and tell you I love you, look at me. I love you.
Hey, Sherry, why don't you sit next to your mother? I'm really happy that you turned to me and then I'm able to bring you here and reunite you with your mother. And I do, like, I hear that story, and believe me, I want to go down there and take my own vengeance, but you can't, and you did the smart thing. You let the law handle it.
Amen.
But let me tell you something. As much as you think that I'm a nice guy and I care, she feels that feeling 100 times stronger to you than I do. I look at a young girl who's terrified. I see it in your eyes. Is there anything that you want to tell me? Do you want to go back home with your mom? Chicago police officer Mike McDermott. Come on up here, Mike.
Can I take him now?
Maybe we'll have our first arrest on stage at the Steve Wilkos Show. In 1 second, ma'am, I want to ask you to leave the stage so I can just, before you leave, okay. I want to just talk to Sherry. But Sherry, is there anything that you want to tell your mom or ask your mom and you're afraid to? And here's your chance. You wanted my help and I'm here, but I feel, and I could be wrong, but I feel like you're holding something back, that you're afraid to say something to your mom, the way you're feeling, or something that you need to tell her. But I get the sense that you're scared to say something right now. Is that the case?
No, I just want my to be around more than what he is.
I understand that. Laverne, I'm going to ask you to leave this. I just want to talk to her if that's okay, and I'll bring you back out. I look at a young girl who's terrified. I see it in your eyes. And I want to take that feeling away somehow, some way. But I'm hoping that, one, you'll go back home with your mom and let her be your protector. She's going to be in your life till the day she dies. Is there anything that you want to tell me?
No.
Do you want to go back home with your mom?
Yes.
I don't want you to make a decision here, but you just really think about what I said. Don't let this happen to somebody else. And really, at this age and what you've gone through, I think your mom, she's given everything she said. There's nothing foolish coming out of her mouth. It's the real deal. And I think I haven't met too many parents in my time on this planet that seem to care more or have their head more straight on than your mom. So I don't want to keep your mom from you any longer. I want to bring your mom back out. getting you back with your mom on this show might be one of the best things we've ever done on this show. We found a rape treatment center back where you live, and we would like for you and your mom to go through it together, and maybe this can help a bit with what you're going through. And if there's anything that you need for me to do for you to help you through this, to help you stay at home with your mom, you got a hold of me once, you can get a hold of me again. From now on, you won't have to email me. You'll call me direct, you'll have a direct line, and you get a hold of me anytime you want. Okay?
Yes.
Are you gonna go home with your mom?
Yes.
Don't run away anymore. Stay with your mom. She loves you. And let me tell you something, no matter what anybody else is saying out there on the streets, honestly, and I'm not lying to you, nobody has your best interest more at heart. Nobody's gonna protect you better than this woman that's sitting right next to your mother. Give me that bed, okay? You're gonna go home and be with your mom?
Yes.
And do it for yourself and do it for your mother. Because hopefully one day you'll be a mom and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what your mom is talking about. Okay? Let's go with your mom. Let's go get you help.
Thank you so much.
Good luck, Mom.
Thank you so much, Steve. I really mean it.
I'm glad to help. All right? Good luck to you. Let's go.
Well, I haven't laid a hand on her in a while.
You just hit me with your skateboard the other day, Nick.
Chicago police officer Mike McDermott. Come on up here, Mike.
Can I take him now?
Maybe we'll have our first arrest on stage at the Steve Wilkos Show. My guest is Dawn. Dawn, why are you here?
I'm here today, Steve, because my daughter, Catherine, is 17 years old. She has a 9-month-old daughter. Her daughter, and her boyfriend, Nick, reside with me. They have a totally abnormal, bizarre relationship. They constantly fight. They're physically, verbally abusive to each other. I'm at work all day, and I'm finding out more and more that the police have been at my house numerous occasions. I'm so afraid that they're going to lose the baby. They're going to wind up in jail, or even worse, kill each other. And it has to stop.
Are you ever there when this guy puts his hands on her?
I was one time called downstairs, and my bedroom's upstairs, their bedroom's downstairs, and he had just hit her. And of course, a big fight ensued, argument ensued between myself and Nick.
And what did you do when you found out he hit her?
Well, I was yelling and screaming, but my concern was the baby, so I grabbed the baby, and I asked him to leave. And he did leave.
Why didn't you lock his ass up?
I guess I thought me talking to them would stop it.
If I was anywhere, it doesn't even have to be my daughter. It could be my wife, my sister. If I come down somewhere and some guy just put his hands on her, one, you're probably going to have to restrain me. And two, I'm calling the police and I'm locking your ass up. This is your own daughter here.
I understand fully what you're saying. But what happens is the baby's only 9 months old. Things are progressively getting worse. And that's why I'm here, is for help. I need help to put Nick somewhere. Because
How about in jail? You could have done that by calling 911.
Okay, so I didn't do that. So where do we go from there then?
Maybe I could just walk off the stage and say, this is your problem, you deal with it.
Right.
You let your daughter...
But that's not what you do. But that's not what you do, is it, Steve? But that's not what you do, and that's not why I'm here, is it, Steve?
Well, you know what? You got to be accountable for your actions, though, too. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm gonna try to help, especially if some guy's hitting your daughter. I don't like the sound of that, and I'm gonna do something about it, whatever I can do. But what I want to know is, are you taking that responsibility that your daughter got pregnant? How did that happen? How did this guy end up moving in your house? How come you didn't call 911? Those are the things I got to question. If you would have took any of the steps to stop your daughter getting pregnant, don't allow this guy to live in your house, you call 911 to get him out of the house, you wouldn't have these problems. You
Right.
probably wouldn't be sitting on my
Right.
stage right now.
Okay, well, I don't want him there anymore. So that's why
But
I'm
you're not
here.
doing anything about it. Don't
Well,
call the police. I'll have Steve Wilkos do it. What are some of the things you've done for your daughter and the boyfriend?
Financially? do
Hey,
you
if
mean?
somebody's got a problem back there, send her ass out instead of talking to my producers all angry. Bring your ass out here and talk to me. So obviously, they don't like the questioning that I'm holding you accountable for the actions you made and the position your daughter ends up, and they run down the hallway. Well, is he here? Yes. Bring him out. Let's find out what he has to say. How you doing, Nick?
I'm all right.
Just, if you hit your girlfriend, then you just stand up. You know the game. Now, just before I get to you, Nick, tell me exactly. You're here today. What do you want to happen? Why are you here?
I want my daughter to start living a normal life. I want her to focus on her daughter and take care of her daughter properly. She needs to get Nick out of her life because it's not a normal relationship. And basically, I want her to start living a normal life.
And you want him out of the picture?
He needs to be. He can see his daughter.
But as far as you'd like him to be out of your daughter's life as a relationship, right?
They need to be away from each other.
And would you say it's fair to say on the show that you'd like to tell Nick something like, you're not going to stay in my house anymore?
Yeah, Nick. I'm sorry.
Gun left. Your daughter's the one who keeps calling me back.
I'm sorry if you have nowhere to go.
I
You
have
know what
places
kind
to
of
go.
person I am. I'm
It's
not
fine.
cold-hearted. I don't want to see you sleeping out on the
about it.
streets. But your relationship cannot continue, and you cannot hit Catherine. You cannot be abusive to each other, verbally, physically. It has to stop.
What about that, Nick? What are you physically abusive?
I don't beat her. Yeah, I have hit her. Yes, I have.
Well, explain the difference to me between
yes, I have
beating and
slapped
hitting.
her. I have pulled her hair. Yes, choked her once, and I don't beat her.
You slapped her, you pulled her hair, you
Yeah,
choked
in
her.
defense of myself, she beats me.
In defense of yourself.
She beats me. I
She
just got
beats you.
arrested 2 weeks ago because she beat me.
And so you have to defend yourself against this woman.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't laid a hand on her in a while.
You just hit me with your skateboard the other day, Nick.
You whacked the mother of your child with a skateboard. Can I go get my skateboard and hit you? Okay. If some big guy, like say a guy like me, so you're walking down the street,
Yeah.
and I say I punch you in the face, I grab your hair, and I start choking you, what are you gonna do?
Defend myself.
Really?
Yes.
Or would you run?
No.
Yeah. Maybe you need to learn, if somebody like the woman that you love, that you bring a child into the world, if she slaps you, maybe it's time to say, you know what, I'm done playing house, I'm gonna go home and grow up.
I do. I do.
You don't leave before you strike her back.
Well, I haven't laid a hand on her in a while.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
let's give you an
She
award.
just hit me.
She just hit me. You know, you sound like you're 14 years old, Nick.
Hey.
You know what's scary? That you're bringing children into the world.
Yeah.
Is this what you're gonna? What do you have? A
I'm
little
a
boy, a
good
little
father.
girl?
I have a
You're
daughter.
a good father.
Yes, I
What
am.
makes you a good father?
I'm with my daughter every day.
And while
Every
you're
day.
beating your child's mother.
She's never home. She's
well,
running the streets.
she's home enough. Hey, this is the woman
She's
you
never
decide.
home. She's never home.
Why do you lay down with this woman and impregnate
never
her
home.
then?
That was before she started acting like this.
Oh, she was great before,
yeah, she
and
was
then
awesome.
she slid
She
down.
got pregnant and
She was
everything
awesome.
went downhill.
I'm sorry, but isn't it true that your daughter at 15 had a cocaine problem?
She had a drug problem.
She had a drug problem. So I don't know if she was so great, Nick, when you started
I didn't
hooking up
know
with
her.
her. She had some issues.
didn't
You
know her.
didn't know her?
No, I
Did she
didn't.
ever tell you I had a drug problem?
Afterwards, yes.
After what?
About a month or two after we were dating, yes, she did tell me.
And didn't she say, oh, you know what, you've had enough problems. We probably shouldn't have a child. Did you think having a child with a 6-year-old was a good idea?
No, we didn't try to have a child.
Did you try not to have a child?
No,
So
it happened.
it happens. I love that we're so cavalier about bringing human life into the world. It happens. Isn't it true you threw keys at your girlfriend and it hit your baby in the head and you
I
left a
didn't throw
welt on
keys.
your baby's head?
No,
Oh, it's not true?
No,
I don't know. Am I just making this up? I'm just making stories out of the top of my
I
head?
didn't throw keys at her.
Oh, what'd you do, lob them
I
at her?
tossed them to
And
her.
it hit your daughter in the head, right?
On accident, yeah.
On
It
accident.
wasn't
I'm
on
sure that's
purpose.
exactly how it went down. I tossed her my keys, and it happened to hit my child in the head and leave a welt on her. You do it? You work?
No,
Why not?
because I'm home with my baby all day.
You're home with your baby all day.
Yes,
So
I am.
who supports your baby?
My parents.
Your parents.
mom.
Her
Yeah.
mom. Honestly, ma'am, and I don't want to be mean to you. This is your daughter, you got a granddaughter. But I see this, and I hear the way he talks, and this is your daughter, your granddaughter. Exactly why wouldn't you lock this piece of crap up? Does he act this way at your house? This attitude?
Pretty much so.
So this is what you want in living in your house?
No.
This guy wouldn't last 3 seconds in my house without my foot buried. I would be ashamed, I would be embarrassed if my daughter ever brought anybody home like you. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing you're under my roof.
Good for you, man.
Good for me, man. You don't address me as man. You'll address me as Steve, or I'll throw your ass off the stage so fast. Let's bring your daughter, your girlfriend, the mother of your child. Let's bring her out. Let's hear what she has to say.
No problem.
No problem. I know it's not a problem. It's my show. And your name is?
Cathy.
Cathy? Yeah, go ahead, sit down. Sit next to your mom if you want to sit close to her. You come out and you're crying. Why are you crying?
Because you're lying.
Yeah.
You lie.
I lied.
What is he lying? What is he lying about?
You say that you just choked me. You just hit me with your skateboard the other day, Nick.
Why did
And
he
you
hit you?
need-
Why did he hit with you with his skateboard?
Because he was mad that I wanted to go down the block to my friend's house. Down the block, not even 5 houses away.
Now this is the woman. This is the mother of your child. Is she lying that you hit her with the skateboard? She told the truth.
Yeah.
And why did you hit her with the skateboard?
Because she lies constantly. She
Oh,
says-
that's good. That's
she
going to
says-
straighten her out.
She says she's going to her friend's house and she's not.
So you picked up a skateboard and you whacked the girlfriend.
Yeah.
You whacked the mother of your child with the skateboard.
Yeah.
And why did you do that, Nick?
Because I was pissed.
How about if I'm pissed at you right now? I'm pissed at you. Can I go get my skateboard and hit you?
Feel free.
Feel free. Why isn't this man not in jail? Why would you stay with a man for 1 second if he hits you with a skateboard, pulls your hair, chokes you? Please don't tell me you love him. There is nothing to love over
I
there.
don't love him anymore. I feel sorry because he has nowhere to go.
Who cares? I don't care. He's 21 years old. You know what 21-year-olds can do? Anything that they want. If he doesn't have anywhere to go, who gives a damn? He's beating the mother of his child. Let him rot in hell. That's where he can go. I guarantee you there's a place that he can go. And all you have to do to put him there is 911. In fact, I don't even want you to call 911. What state do you live in?
Chicago, Illinois.
You live in Chicago. Great. No, that's wonderful. Because you know what? You call me. You call me the next time this punk puts his hands on you. I'm serious. Chicago police officer Mike McDermott. Come on up here, Mike.
We will be seeing each other probably tomorrow, bum. Can I take him now?
Maybe we'll have our first arrest on stage at the Steve Wilkos Show. just made my day. I'm really happy now. I want to introduce you to one of my friends, Chicago police officer Mike McDermott. Come on up here, Mike.
You dumb? Don't you point at me, don't you smile at me, bum. You live in Chicago, bum?
Yeah.
Guess what, bum? We will be seeing each other probably tomorrow, bum.
Okay.
Am I clear with you, bum? Can I take him now?
Well, I think it would be a wise thing. If somebody'd be willing to sign complaints, maybe we'll have our first arrest on stage at the Steve Wilkos Show.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Maybe a little turn of events. Let's see that real cavalier attitude right now.
I've been to jail.
Oh, you've been to jail.
Yeah, I have.
Then we got no problem putting you back in jail.
I take really good care of my kid.
What? Excuse me?
I'm a
You
really
take
good
really
father.
good care.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well,
I do.
that's good for you.
Okay.
You're such a wonderful father. How about being wonderful and respectful to the woman that brings that child into the world?
She has no respect for me.
Maybe
None.
you have to earn respect to get it.
Earn respect.
I haven't heard anything come out of your mouth that I would respect you.
Let's see. She's never home.
How about supporting your own kid? How about you getting your ass up and getting a job?
See. She's never home.
Why don't you get a job?
She's outdoors.
Why don't you get a job?
Because she's
I'm
never
talking
home.
about you.
Because she's never home. How can I go look for a job when I'm with
Maybe
my
it's a
kid
good
all day?
idea. Maybe it's a good idea to learn who you're bringing children into the world with. If she's so horrible, maybe you should take some time out and find out who you're laying down with and bringing children into the world. If
know
she's
now.
so bad, no, you don't get to decide. Find out afterwards. Maybe you should spend some time with somebody and figure out who they are. Get into a committed relationship without violence before you start bringing into the children into the world. You can't stand there. You don't get to stand there and say you're a good father while you're committing acts of violence with your child in the house. That's not being a good father. I don't know who the hell taught you or what you think is being a good father, but you looking in the mirror, you're not going to see one. You know what? Look into my eyes and you'll see a good father. I wonder if that violence has an effect on your daughter.
Yeah, it does.
I wonder if your daughter's going to be affected by you hitting her mother with a skateboard. Anything else I'm missing here?
Why does he keep saying that you're not home all day? I talk to you from work
I'm
all day
home
long.
during
and
the day.
She's home all day
I
long.
sleep until 1 o'clock in the afternoon and leave.
And leave. I don't go anywhere, Nick. You're lying. That's what you've been doing for however long you've been on the
That's
show
funny.
already.
When you come home at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
right?
that was my birthday party. That was
Birthday
Sunday. That was
party?
my birthday
You're
party.
Let me
You're
ask you,
lying.
are you home for your daughter?
Yes,
Do
I
you
am.
take care of your
Yes,
daughter?
I do take care of
Are you home majority of the time?
Yes. I'm home about the same amount of time as him.
Never.
Same
we're
amount of time.
Yeah, I would give it the same. We're equal.
No, he
With
came
me.
out and he says, he's basically, he admitted that he's lying because he hits you with the skateboard and he admitted it. But do you ever get mad at him and just start hitting him?
It was, yeah, there was one time that I actually, before I even got pregnant, it was really bad. We would go at it, and yes, I would go at him. But after I had the baby, I had enough common sense to know not to get violent with you and okay. I had enough common sense to know that the baby is more important, and she does not need to be seeing that.
Let me ask you, he ever put his hands on you while you were pregnant?
There was one incident that he did, but it wasn't like, he had just choked me when I was pregnant.
Just choked you.
He choked you when you were pregnant?
Yeah.
You're a damn good father. That's great. When you're putting your little bony hand around her throat and cutting off the air supply, was that being a good father to your unborn child?
No, it wasn't.
Was that maybe causing harm to your child?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's not the right thing. I know
It's not the right thing.
No, it's
So let
not.
me tell you, when are you going to stop? When are you going to stop with the violence against the mother of your child? When are you going to stop with the violence?
It's been done.
When was the last time he hit you? You just said the skateboard thing
About 2
happened.
weeks ago.
No, Sunday. You hit me when I came home at 3
Oh,
in the
with the
morning.
skateboard.
Sunday. So you've quit for 3 days now. Is that what you're telling me? You've quit for 3 days now? And what's going to stop you from doing it again?
So I'm done. I'm not going back to her house.
But you have a child with
Yeah.
her. What's the big motivator now? You're going to move out.
Like,
And
can't
you're
do
done.
it anymore.
What can't you do anymore? Hit her
She's
with the
never
skateboard?
home. She's never home, Steve. Never. Never.
She's never home. So what?
I
You're
take
21
care
years
of my
old.
daughter.
Go on with your life.
I
Find
take
somebody
care of my
else.
daughter all day, every day. I change my daughter. I feed my
Who,
daughter.
you know what?
She's never
When
home.
you're beating the mother of that child, I don't care what you do. You are wrong, mister.
She's out running the
You are
streets
wrong.
doing drugs.
If what you're saying is the truth, it just didn't happen overnight, and she had a baby, and all of a sudden, I'm going to do drugs, and I'm going to stay out all night. You're going to tell me that before she had the baby, she stayed home, she was wonderful, and she didn't
Yeah,
do
she
drugs?
was.
You're a liar.
We were fine.
We gave you a drug test before the show, right?
Yeah.
And the results of her drug test is she's not doing drugs. She came up clean. Yeah, I'm going to make her stand up. I'm going to make her be a good mom. I'm going to help her be a good mom. I'm going to help her be a good mom. But you, all I'm going to do is make sure the next time you put your hands on her, that you get locked up. That's my promise to you. Get off my stage! We have a picture of your daughter. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's a gorgeous, gorgeous little baby. That's wonderful that you have a child. But now you have to grow up really, really fast. And that's the unfortunate part. You don't get to be a child anymore. You really have to take the responsibility of saying, I'm going to be there for my child. I'm going to raise it with the help of your mom. With the help of your mom, and that's great. But you know what you got to do? He is the father, and he's going to have some rights. But somebody has to say, no more. No more. You are not going to put your hands on me. You're going to commit acts of violence in front of my child. You're not going to live in my house, and I'm going to support you. You, Mr. Bum, go out and get a job and take care of the children. You bring it to the world. I want to hear it from you. You done with this guy?
Yeah.
I want to hear it
Done.
from you. You're not going to let this guy back in your house.
I won't let him back in. I'm done with him.
And if you have any problems, you call me, you call Officer Mike, we will deal with this guy. What I'm going to do for you, because that is the most important thing about this whole story right here. Your daughter, we want to send you to parenting classes to make sure you learn how to be a good mom, because it's not the easiest thing in the world to learn. We want to send you for parenting classes, and we want to send the both of you for counseling so you both can help each other.
Okay.
You agree? You want to do this? Let's go.
Thank you.
Help you do this, okay? Everyone's got something to say about the Steve Wilkos Show. Whether you love it, hate it, or have a funny comment, drop a line in Steve's mailbag at stevewilkos.com. If I read your email on the air, I'll send you a free t-shirt. Steve, you are annoying, and that is an understatement. I would advise you to experiment with some different techniques. The Steve way is seldom effective. Brian. That depends on who you talk to, Brian. Keep watching. You'll get it. Eventually. Here's my next email. Dear Steve, your show amazes me every day. You have a realistic, tough attitude towards the deadbeats and expose them for the scum they are. You are a person I look up to. Jonathan. I deal with situations from a moral perspective that comes from my father, the Marines, and my service to the community as a police officer. I never set out to be a role model for people, but I'm happy I can be a positive influence on you, Jonathan.